Thanks everyone for being here. Thanks everyone that is online and taking the time to listen to the seminar. I'm very happy. Thanks for IAS for this opportunity of bringing Maura here to talk to us. And I'm very happy to welcome Maura, not just from an academic and professional perspective, but also from a personal perspective. Because Maura and I are both from the same small town in the south of Brazil. And we managed to grow up for like 20 years without really knowing each other. Don't know how, because we have the same cousins from different sides of the family, but we never met. Then we met doing a master's degree. And then we actually connected properly a couple of years later when you were teaching in a university in Brazil. And Maura was teaching product design, I was teaching graphic design. And although they are slightly different subjects, I learned a lot from Maura in that period about teaching, about engaging with students, about connecting with them, and making the teaching space a place that was exciting and interesting to be. So cut to a few years later, or quite a few years later, I'm here teaching at Loughborough, and Maura is doing a PhD in design education, which does not surprise me at all, because Maura is an excellent educator. And it makes sense that she'll be interested in doing that. And it's something that I've been doing a bit of research recently. So the open program from IAS is a great opportunity for us to connect and to be here to exchange these experiences. And the higher education system is slightly different in Brazil than it is here in the UK. So I think we can learn from each other on teaching practices and what we can do to make it better. Because from previous discussions, we're talking about, although the systems are slightly different, the challenges we face with students are quite similar. So I think it's a great opportunity. If we are going to be hosting a meeting on Wednesday to discuss this opportunities. We have a few people coming, but whoever else, I don't know who's online now, if there's anyone that would be interested in joining us in this meeting, I can send the meeting details later. And well, but enough from me. Maura, welcome.
Thank you for introducing me, Sarah, and thank you for all, and welcome to this conversation. And I share my experience and something about my studies and my experience as a professor. And the theme is the user experience and design education. I need to stay here because the camera. So I teach in Unicinos University. It's a university in the south of Brazil with two campuses. A campus in Porto Alegre is in metropolitan region of south of Brazil. And in the same region, the first campus is São Leopoldo, university with 55 years of history, and is a university, Jesuit university, and the design degree have I think about the time this course, but 18 years. And in both campus, design degree happens, and these activities are all types, activities like hands-on and like lectures for offers different experiences for students. So in these pictures, we have some types of experiences, and is the degree with the degree with the design project-based activities. So the project activities are the core of the degree, and the other activities supporting helps the project activities, project-based activities. We call it ateliers of project. And in this course, this degree have during 4 years. And during the degree, the students have two study trips. The first one is in the second year of the studies, is for Buenos Aires, Argentina, is for participating of event related with design in Latin America. So the students visit cultural centers, museums, and workshops and activities connected to activities about projects and cultural systems of city, and stay in contact with cultural perspectives and talk about people and know the city and cultural context for after produce something or a document with your perspectives about the project in this situation, in this city, in this country, because it's a trip with intention to be immersive, immersion in this another cultural situation. And the second trip is in third year, is for Milan in Italy, for participate to Design Week. So the students travel and stay for 10 days in Milan. Is a big trip. Some students don't know Europe or not travel after. So in this situation, stay in contact with the history of design, the designers, big brands, or the context of Salone del Mobile, is a situation with a lot of industries and important industries and important event related with our area. So it's a nice experience for students and to related with the cultural context of Milan in this week, with a big experience to stay in contact with designers and brands, emerging designers too, and experience of Fuori Salone with exhibitions about Google, Philip Stark, and a lot of important names for our area. And also we visit Politecnico University, Politecnico di Milano, Milano University, and it's a nice experience for me, for my colleagues, but for students too, because it's an important moment to compare situations, structures, and professors, and know this ecosystem of design in Milan. And every year we visit Politecnico di Milano. The activities based in project plus trips, and the design degree also promotes biannual design workshops for students. It's during the week. So in the first day, the students receive a brief for develop during the week until the day 5 to promote solutions. And we work here with brands or contexts of our region or national contexts. So in this situation, Marx, it's a museum for our city. And this museum had problems with engaged community for visit museum or participated in some activities. So the students had this moment to create something, thinking about the population for participate or visit more Margs, this museum. And in this workshop, always we invited some professionals or designers related with companies or factories. It's different professors, so it's professional who improve the learning for students. In this other situation, the students works with a brand who made sofas with leather, natural material. So it's a big problem, and the students need to try solutions for this situation, a different situation about the classroom days. So I think in this case, we work with workshops, trips, study trips, and about a lot of experiences based in project. So students shows and some insecurity in the line with the uncertainty to design process and is noticeable. I teach for 10 years and I teach in the first year of the degree always, and I can see a difficulty to try, difficulty to accept problems related to project or the project practices or project methods. The students now, and after we can talk about that, this, but the students present an urgency or something different to accept this design process and these steps for design process. So I start to study about that, about designing the user experience. I start a doctoral research about this context, and it's essential to understand the students' experiences and learn design. All the steps, research, ideation, prototyping, validation, and others, to understand this experience, this perception, the student's perception about this design process. And in the last 2 years, so I started this PhD research about design education because it's a big theme, it's a big area, and start to research different authors or journals who research and write about this topic, and start for 4 topics. The first one is design education is undergoing constant evolution, we know, constant evolution, and driven in part by the paradigm shifts within the field. So have changes, climate changes and cultural changes, and for consequences, our area changes too. Other question is the rapid availability of technological innovations like AI, artificial intelligence, who is a big opportunity, but we have ethical problems, contemporary social changes, all types, we need for new pedagogical approaches. It's a topic from authors about the new pedagogical approaches because the systems and world is changing. So who will we prepare students for this moment? Are we preparing the students for this moment? And after that, I started draw the objectives from my research, thinking about this structure. So the first one is develop understanding of design and design education, as well the application in educational contexts by identifying relevant theories, approaches, methodologies for creation of educational systems, I hope. Investigate that relationship between user, student, experience, and learning. In this case, I need to study user students, but professors too, because it's impossible to learn to understand about the students without professors in this process. Map users' needs to identify opportunities, needs emotional, I think, needs cognitive, for improving the educational experience. Identify dimensions present in a design dynamics. What is these characteristics and recognizing for students, for professors? Identify challenges in contemporary design education. Develop actionable strategies, each design dimension, and formulate and validate educational models based on recommendations for students, professors, or authors. So these objectives for the next years, because I'm in the second year of PhD studies, so it's a lot of things happens, but it's the start. And what I made, the first step was the systematic review about design education and design education in the experience area or emotional design area too, for understand emotional relation with to learning project or learning design, because it's a big area without a systematic process. It's a process when need imagination and creativity. So it's a free process. Is necessary. Is the process changes with person by person. So I start for interview with professors and focus groups with students. Two different tools for know this situation and understand if my plans, my objectives is in a good way, So interviews starts for three objectives and 3 questions per consequence. So the first one is for recognize activities with the activities when the professors understand with the most significant, most important, or more with more value. And the second is related with relationship. No, for questions more personal. And the third one is related to technological research with for analyzing if it's important to the technological researches or not. in this process related to teaching project or teaching design process, present authors or talk about the design process. So 3 questions for professors and same of questions and answers about this situation. The first one talk about the professors identifying the project transitions phase when the students synthesize initial research and change for a project possibility. So recognize with transition phase. The second one is related to lectures because professors talk about the curiosity of students about the lectures in the classes, nor not only hands-on, but when need to stay and listen professor. Professors talk about mentoring projects or the moment of mentoring and the changes of information and talk about and this impact in this case for learning. A point for students' experience with difficult tension and urgency for particularity in the search for original solutions to project. Because it starts this project with ideas and sometimes this idea exists and is a frustration. So it's an urgency for search original solutions. With this case, with initial frustration over the challenge of creating a good design. The professors talk about the value, the situations when students ask questions about profession for industries of market situations more real for about project or a broad academy about project. Professors identify two artificial intelligence tools as beneficial for experimentation and synthesis in exercise of design projects. So, and active dialogue between peers, and between students and professors, supported by some things or sketches or as the most effective technology. So not related with equipment or only about the relations too. And the study with students, focus groups. I talk about a lot of students and different groups of students for 1 hour sessions, and students were asked, and I put the words in the blackboard and they talk and see your answers, and this situation it's positive to continue the focus group. So these objectives is identifying significant events and key memories from the design courses students have attended. Examine students' understanding of relationships and bonds and their importance to experience of learning design. So the most important for me explore elements used to mediate this relationship, and recognize the concepts associated with technology in the classroom. For professors too, recognizing these concepts about technology. And about these results and discussion, students talk about activities-based project when the small portion of design classes know a big project during 4 months, but small projects during this time. They noted that having multiple design exercises and to the diversity of project topics. So in one semester, the students work with project related to music, food, and it's positive for them because understand who is more productive with different projects and different themes. Usually you start a project in the semester and until the end of semester, same project to know process, to know brief, and to know a company, and develop a big research, and after a big meta project, and after a project. They talk about rotation team members when they can to know other colleagues, to know better other colleagues. Reported difficult to forming these teams without faculty or professors mediation. So like these students likes this work with teams, but have some difficulties to organize these teams. They emphasize the importance of partnership with companies because all the projects or the activities with project like workshops have a partner of industry. The brief is a brief from industry, and the students work with this reality. They talk about equipments, recognize the flexibility. They talk about equipment, but we think about VR or IR, but students like flexibility, in this case, flexibility to edit classroom layouts and utilize surfaces for drawing. So more simple than technologies, but they vision about technology is more simple than I imagine. And for preliminary results, I could see relationship between professor and student extends beyond the simple transmission of knowledge. We know. The research suggests that design education should prioritize richer and more meaningful learning experience and preparing future designers for an increasing dynamic job market. It's necessary too for the future to compare the perceptions of students at the beginning and the end of their programs, because in this situation, I talk with students of first year. And after students change, all change, professors change. And it's necessary to compare or to know in the start of program and the end of program and our experiences. Inside, yeah, and two about public universities and private universities, because I teach in a situation, a better situation, a university with resources. Maybe in other universities we have other situation, and it's necessary to compare. In Brazil, it's more common, this distance and the situation of public university and private university. So it's necessary to know other opportunities, and it's necessary to compare or to know curricula of various designs and other design programs to understand the placement and content of design activities, and discussion about the future of the discipline. Some authors write about the future of discipline, and relational approaches are also influenced by the cultural contexts. So I need to understand different in this situation in different countries, and which adds another layers to this discussion for sure. And is for this situation, I'm here and work with Sarah in this week for to know other situations related with project, with learning or teaching about project, with our participation with teacher, good moments and big experiences, and difficult about to teaching, about relation with students, or recognizing another process of design in other cultural situations. So thank you so much. As you can see, English is not my first language, but I try. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for AAS Open Program, for this moment, this seminar, for my trip and all organization. Thank you.